You think your comfortable paycheck means you are safe, but you have merely upgraded your chains to gold-plated handcuffs. You are unknowingly funding your own endless exhaustion. Watch until the end to decode the brutal mathematics of money and discover how to finally achieve absolute, untouchable freedom. Have you ever felt the exact moment your dignity evaporates in the harsh, fluorescent glare of a grocery store aisle? You are standing there, paralyzed, holding a jar of peanut butter that costs exactly $3 more than the generic store brand. You weigh it in your hands like it is a chunk of unstable, weapons-grade plutonium, calculating the devastating ripple effect this single purchase will have on your entire week. It is a suffocating, silent terror. Then, your phone vibrates in your pocket. An unknown number flashes across the cracked screen, and your stomach drops into an endless abyss because your brain instantly recognizes the unseen predator hunting you: the debt collector. That cold, creeping dread paralyzing your spine is not just stress. It is the visceral feeling of being trapped in a gravitational well that is slowly crushing the life out of you. At the Wealth Ladder US 6 welcomes you to the brutal, unfiltered reality of the financial universe. If you have ever felt that suffocating weight and want to finally understand the hidden mechanics of money that keep you trapped, please hit that subscribe button right now to support the channel and give us the momentum to keep exposing these profound truths for you. We are not here to sell you the synthetic, Instagram-filtered delusion of rented Lamborghinis and overnight millions. We are here to map the cold, mathematical cosmos of wealth, tracing the agonizing evolutionary path from the primordial ooze of being dead broke all the way to the ultimate cosmic singularity of absolute peace of mind. Let us plunge directly into the darkest, most terrifying corner of this universe. Level 1. Extreme poverty. Society loves to feed us this toxic, arrogant lie that if you are poor, it is simply a failure of your character. They look down from their comfortable pedestals and tell you to just stop buying lattes, as if saving 50 cents a day will magically alter the cruel physics of your reality. Over my dead body will I ever let anyone peddle that mathematical illiteracy here. Extreme poverty is not a lack of morality or work ethic. It is a critical, devastating lack of cash and forward momentum.
It is a rigged system where every single waking decision is a desperate crisis, like trying to achieve escape velocity from a supermassive black hole while flying a paper airplane, leaving you blindfolded and frantically dodging financial asteroids just to survive another day. If by some miracle you manage to claw your way out of that crushing gravitational well, you do not suddenly find yourself floating in the infinite freedom of space. Instead, you enter level 2, a low Earth orbit of perpetual, exhausting survival. This is the paycheck-to-paycheck treadmill, and it is perhaps the most deceptive trap in the modern financial cosmos. You are no longer drowning, but you are treading water in a stormy ocean with heavy iron weights tied to your ankles. On the surface, things look functional. You can afford the slightly more expensive peanut butter now. Your phone screen might still be cracked, but the numbers calling you are mostly friends and family, not hostile collection agencies. Yet, this existence is defined by a haunting, invisible fragility. You are exactly one unexpected medical bill, one catastrophic transmission failure, or one unceremonious corporate layoff away from being violently pulled back into the dark abyss of extreme poverty. The terror here is not the immediate lack of food. It is the agonizing awareness of your own vulnerability. You trade the best hours of your youth and the brightest sparks of your energy just to maintain this precarious equilibrium. You wake up to an alarm clock that sounds like a prison siren, commute through gray, soul-crushing traffic,
and rent out your brain to build someone else's empire, all so you can pay for the roof over your head that you are too exhausted to enjoy. The emotional toll is a slow, quiet erosion of your spirit. You begin to compromise on your deepest dreams, convincing yourself that this baseline survival is all you deserve. Society applauds you for being a responsible, hard-working citizen. But in the quiet, lonely moments before sleep, you stare at the ceiling and wonder if this infinite loop of working, paying bills, and aging is all there is to the human experience. You are not building wealth. You are simply funding your own endless exhaustion, running a brutal marathon where the finish line is perpetually moving further away. Eventually, if you run that marathon long enough and play the corporate game with enough ruthless precision, you graduate from the fragile orbit of survival and find yourself locked inside level 3, the gilded cage of comfort.
Here, the raw, visceral terror of scarcity is replaced by the suffocating anesthesia of the middle class. You have finally acquired the synthetic markers of success that society programmed you to crave since childhood. You have the manicured green lawn, the reliable luxury SUVs sitting in a 2-car garage, and a kitchen featuring granite countertops where you drink the very lattes the financial gurus arrogantly told you to avoid. But underneath this polished, Instagram-ready veneer lies a quiet, creeping desperation. You have not bought freedom. You have merely upgraded your chains to premium, gold-plated handcuffs. The stakes are immensely higher now. You are trapped by the crushing weight of a 30-year mortgage, escalating property taxes, and the agonizing pressure to maintain a lifestyle that projects wealth to neighbors you do not even genuinely like. You are earning more than you ever thought possible, yet, paradoxically, you feel completely paralyzed. Lifestyle creep has silently devoured every raise, every annual bonus, and every promotion. You are terrified of taking a massive risk, of starting that business, or of speaking your mind at a job you secretly despise, because the heavy machinery of your life is entirely dependent on that bi-weekly direct deposit. The stress does not disappear. It just mutates into something insidious. Instead of fearing a skipped meal, you fear an economic downturn that could collapse the fragile house of cards you call a career. Your dignity is no longer stripped away in a grocery store aisle. It is slowly bled out of you in endless, mind-numbing boardroom meetings and sterile performance reviews. You are comfortable, yes, but comfort is the ultimate assassin of ambition, keeping you sedated while your true potential quietly expires. You realize with a sickening jolt that you are rich on paper, but entirely bankrupt in time, bound to a highly decorated treadmill that you cannot afford to turn off. Shattering the thick glass walls of that comfortable cage requires a violent, almost unnatural rejection of everything you have been taught, a necessary rebellion that propels you into level 4, achieving escape velocity. This is the sacred defining threshold where the brutal mathematics of money finally begin to work for you rather than relentlessly against you. You are no longer trading the finite hours of your biological life for depreciating fiat currency. Instead, you have methodically accumulated assets, index funds, private businesses, commercial real estate, that act as tireless, unsleeping machines, churning out capital regardless of whether you are staring at a spreadsheet or watching the sunset on a distant, quiet beach. Reaching this level of financial independence is not about amassing a grotesque dragon's hoard of gold to inflate a fragile ego. It is about buying back the most precious, irreplaceable commodity in the universe: your time. Do you know what it actually feels like when the dividends from your investments finally surpass your monthly living expenses? It is not a loud, cinematic explosion of joy. It is a profound, earth-shattering exhale.
The chronic, low-grade fever of financial anxiety that has infected your brain since you were old enough to understand money suddenly breaks. The world looks entirely different when your survival is no longer tethered to a manager's mood or corporate quarterly earnings. You can look a superior in the eye and say no without a single tremor of fear in your voice. You wake up on a Tuesday morning, listen to the rain against the window, and realize the entire day is a blank canvas belonging entirely to you. You have effectively severed the invisible strings that society uses to control the masses, stepping out of the frantic, noisy machine and breathing the crisp, unpolluted air of genuine autonomy. The realization hits you with profound weight. You have stopped surviving the economic system and have finally learned to master it, transforming money from a relentless, demanding master into a quiet, obedient servant. Once you have reclaimed absolute ownership of your time, the financial cosmos expands infinitely before you, allowing you to step into the final, transformative realm of Level 5, the singularity of absolute freedom. This is the ultimate apex of the wealth ladder, a state of existence so far removed from the agonizing calculations of peanut butter jars and debt collectors that it feels like operating in an entirely different dimension. At this singularity, money loses its gravitational pull completely. It ceases to be a source of stress, a desperate marker of status, or even a tool for personal luxury. It becomes something infinitely more profound: raw, kinetic energy for human impact. When you no longer have to worry about your own survival, or even the financial survival of your children's children, your perspective undergoes a radical, spiritual evolution. You are no longer looking down at your feet, trying to navigate the treacherous rocks of daily expenses. You are looking outward at the endless horizon, asking how you can bend reality to your will. This level is about constructing a sweeping legacy that outlives your physical heartbeat. It is the rare ability to walk into a struggling community and silently fund a school, to invest in revolutionary ideas that push humanity forward, or simply to shield your loved ones entirely from the cruel, random tragedies of the world. The profound peace of mind achieved here is not just the absence of worry. It is the presence of absolute, unshakable power over your own destiny. You look back at the dark, terrifying black hole of extreme poverty where you started, and you feel a deep, aching empathy, coupled with a fierce gratitude for the scars you accumulated along the way. You have traversed the most unforgiving universe imaginable, decoding its hidden, ruthless mechanics and emerging not just wealthy, but fundamentally, extraordinarily free. You understand now that the entire agonizing journey was never truly about the money itself. It was an arduous, beautiful metamorphosis designed to reveal the unbreakable strength of your own human spirit. Barrett, through the financial cosmos, is ultimately not a pursuit of paper wealth, but a profound evolution of the human spirit. It begins in the exhausting orbit of survival, where every ounce of energy is expended just to keep the dark abyss of poverty at bay. As you climb, you encounter the deceptive comfort of the gilded cage, a dangerous plateau where society tempts you to trade your boundless potential for premium handcuffs and manicured illusions. Yet, true liberation only begins when you achieve escape velocity, forcibly shattering the paradigm of trading your finite, precious time for money. Here, assets become your tireless servants, buying back your autonomy and curing the chronic fever of financial anxiety. Finally, at the singularity of absolute freedom, money sheds its power over you entirely, transforming into pure kinetic energy used to bend reality, uplift others, and forge an enduring legacy. This arduous ascent reveals a universal truth. Wealth is never the final destination. The numbers in a bank account are merely a byproduct of a much deeper metamorphosis. The true victory lies in reclaiming absolute ownership of your destiny, escaping the relentless economic treadmill, and proving the unbreakable resilience of your own will.
By mastering the ruthless mechanics of money, you ultimately master yourself, stepping out of the shadows of survival and into the brilliant, unpolluted light of genuine, lasting freedom. True wealth is never measured by the luxury you display, but by the absolute control you have over your own time. The greatest threat to your ultimate freedom is not poverty, but the paralyzing comfort of the middle class. Society programs us to chase synthetic markers of success, expensive cars, larger houses, and brand name status, which only serve to lock us inside a gilded cage. You must realize that comfort is the quiet assassin of ambition. Escaping this matrix requires understanding that money is simply a tool to buy back your finite biological time, not a mechanism to inflate your ego. Audit your cages. Take a hard look at your current expenses. Are you buying true freedom, or are you just upgrading your gold-plated handcuffs? Stop letting lifestyle creep devour your income every time you get a raise. Shift from consumer to owner. Begin transitioning your mindset from trading time for money to building or buying systems that generate capital while you sleep. Consistently invest a portion of your income into index funds, start a side business, or acquire assets that pay you regardless of whether you are working. Embrace uncomfortable growth. Reject the sedating comfort of your current plateau. Take calculated risks and be willing to sacrifice short-term, socially validated luxuries for long-term, unshakable autonomy. Which of these financial levels do you feel you are currently in right now? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to read your perspective and learn from each other's journeys. If you found value in this, please hit the subscribe button to support the channel. Your support gives us the motivation to keep creating more great content to help you on your journey.